Hi there, brick builders. Today we have a set by Ausini. It's a little motorized train with a little train platform, which I plan to use in our city. It's called Electric Train, go figure, and it has 631 pieces. As said, this train comes with a little platform. The train itself consists of 3 parts, one with the motor in it, one in the middle and another one on the back side that from the outside matches the first one. It also comes with not less than 4 exclusive Ausini figurines. So first let's have a look at the minifigs. We start with a traveler. He has a suitcase, he has the typical cubed Ausini head, and he has a bit of a funny haircut with hairs in front of his eyes. What he doesn't have is a lot of prints, there's just one on the chest. And his face, of course. Here we have the train driver, or maybe the conductor. That's not too clear in this case. He has almost the same features. He also has his bricked head and a print on the face and on the chest, and nothing much else besides of a little hat. Here we got the first lady in the traveling business on this train. She is much the same as the other one. She also has a print on the chest and she has hair. This time long hair, where she either wears headphones or is descended from the elfen. And last but not least, our second lady here. Maybe she's a traveler, maybe she's a waiter. She has a bit of a funny haircut, descending from the 50s, I guess, and as well she sports a print on the chest. This is the standard configuration Ausini suggests. As you can see, there are just enough curves to form a circle, plus there are 4 in the end straights to pin the platform on. The platform itself gives us some wind protection and a bit of a fence, and of course a vending machine, which finally is just plugged in with one pin so that you can turn the thing around. And all of that while the train makes its way around the scenery. Here we got the Ausini brick separator, which in contrary to all other brick separators doesn't sport a sharp edge to lift plates or tiles, which renders this separator rather useless. Controlling this train is rather simple. You got a big red button on one of the cars. You press this and the train will start at full speed. You press it again and the train will stop. If you open the car, you can adjust the direction on the battery box. Yes, it's a battery box, not an USB box. But to do that, you really have to open this car, which means to remove most of its parts. Here we have a look at the procedure to open the car. As you can see, you have to remove the roof, you have to remove a lot of the parts at the sides to get to the battery box, which is a real battery box. It needs 3 AA battery cells and it has the connector to the motor, the switch to choose the direction it's gonna run, and the button to switch it on or off. That's the button that is actuated by pressing the red button on the top of the train when it should run. So this does that mechanically using a rod. So let's put this thing back together. And while we are there, why not put in a train driver into this car, which is a similar operation. This time you have to virtually undo the whole front of the car to get to the working space of our train driver. And he preferably works in a standing position, since with normal adult hands, just like I consider myself having, there is a lot of trouble putting him in a seating position. Luckily, the car is tall enough to let him stand. The glass isn't scratched too much, and there are no doors between the cars. But let's also open the car in the middle to see how travelers are seated in this train. The procedure is much the same. The roof has to go along with the front and back sections. Only the windowed section can stay for this procedure. Inside we find 2 tables and 4 chairs where you can put the figures on. As you might have seen, this footage is sped up to avoid having a non-sped up second build section in this video. For the last car, the same procedure, opening it, finding just 2 chairs and 1 table. At least in my set, in this car there is no clutch power between roof and windows at all. It was not much on the other cars, but there's nothing. On the other cars, at least, there were tiles on the top to connect those side tiles which have a normal clutch power on the base plate with the roof. But on this train they omitted that so that this roof can fall off easily anytime. For a playset that might be sufficient, and of course for a test build for how to use a train in the city, that's also more than enough. As said, the windows do have little scratches, but it's not too much. Let's have a look at the box. It's nothing too special, it's just like normal for Ausini. So opening it is the course, and let's see what's inside. And inside the box is another box, which doesn't really want to come out. And in this other box there are our bags. These can be found in the instructions, so there are not too many parts on your table at the same time, which with the 600 pieces is not a too big problem anyway. Here we have the motor and the cabling. As a fun fact, the base plates of the cars are not really plates but bricks. Here we have the battery box, which I really struggled to open it. It was shut tight. As a pro tip, just use any tool you have lying around to separate the darker part from the lighter part. There is no trickery. Let's have a look at the instructions. Nothing to fear about. Parts of all the steps are grayed out, only the parts that are used in this step are in color. In the end we got 56 steps. At first the train is built, and after that the platform. So this is a playset. This is not primarily something to display. This is not primarily something to look good. This is something you're gonna play with it, or your kids gonna play with it and have fun. And It's due to the pricing something that you can afford to buy just to test out how tracks and trains do work with everything you want to do. The clutch power is okay in the sense that nothing will fall apart immediately. It will if you misuse it. There are no stickers, but a couple of prints. I'm planning to put the set in our city, learn about routing Lego sets or Legos sets and having fun with it, with pressing a button and seeing the little train run on the tracks or maybe derail or everything that might happen. Right now I don't know what to do with the platform. I don't know what kind of stations I'm gonna build, but when they are built, I guess I know. So for me and for testing purposes, this train is more or less ideal. It would be a bit more ideal if you got a remote and a USB box instead of changing batteries all the time. So if you search for a set that replicates a real-world original, that is detailed, that is remote controlled, that has this accumulator box and all this good stuff, and this looks good in a shelf, this is not for you. But if you like to have something simple, something to have fun with it on the side, maybe you consider this set. So that's it for the moment. Here we got a bit more building to do. So if you like what you have seen, please press the like button. If you don't like what you have seen, please press the dislike button. And if you wanna tell me off, just do this by a comment. And if you really want to have this headache once a week, just subscribe. So have fun building, have fun watching, have fun playing, and see you.